All right, a very good afternoon to dear learners. And here we are at the week five of our problem solving sessions. And it's a long journey. It's a journey of 12 weeks. And we are slowly inching towards the midway, which is the week six, and the next week, the coming week. However, we are here at week five, and as you all know, we have certain things to discuss, to share. We do that in a particular format. There would be certain new things which I've tried to add in this particular session, and we'll be exploring all those things. And as we have been following with the set of 10 questions, that will also be there along with the content recap. In the content recap, I have added a few things. I've try to add more content to it in a much more visual manner, in a much more annotation based and flowchart based manner, so that we get a good clarity about what was the content about, and it can help us revise through the content, and then which will eventually help us in attempting the set of 10 questions, right? So as you all know that we follow a particular protocol in which the slides which are presented are in a particular order. It starts with priming all the learners about various aspects of the course, including certification, including marking. Uh, Apart from that, the registration part, wherein you have to pay some amount to get enrolled for the courses, right? And once that is over, we move on to the typology of questions, what type of questions we are discussing, we might expect in our examination, and how can the questions be framed in a different way, still utilizing the multiple choice question format, right? So after that, we discuss the content recap. In the PPT, it is basically a visual summary. But then I've also tried something different today. So we've got a very short and a power packed video. And apart from that, we also have is a mind mapping based illustration. It's a concept mapping illustration in which there are linkages, and when we click on those linkages, it opens up new areas of exploration, right? Once that is over, we will start with a set of 10 questions. Now, this is again a fresh set of questions which are different from your live assignment. And I would expect you to respond to it by typing in your responses in chat box. And once we discuss that, then we will be concluding the session. So that is basically a short and a brief preview of what we do in these sessions. And let me start with my introduction. My name is Abhishek Srivastava. Uh, I'm an architect and industrial designer from School of Planning and Architecture in Delhi. It's a CFTI, which is a centrally funded technical institution based in Delhi, one of the oldest architecture colleges. And after that, I did start my professional journey with working at Infosys, which is an IT company, and then Think Design, and then eventually getting on to my own startup. So I was a director in a company which I've started for around 2 to 3 years. But slowly I transitioned into taking workshop for students, teaching various courses for design students, and that's where I realized that probably teaching position is something which also was kind of interesting for me. That's where I became a design educator. I was a teacher at different design institutions, including UP Institute of Design in Noida, Delhi NCR, World University, and then you had the School of Planning and Architecture, the Industrial Design Department, as a visiting faculty. Now, after that, I thought of initiating my doctoral journey, which is the PhD. And currently, I am at the Department of Design in IIT Roorkee, which is in Uttarakhand. And I'm currently pursuing my PhD here, and it's my fourth year. And as a part of the Prime Minister's Research Fellowship, we have been asked to take up courses wherein we go and teach the students. And that's where, this particular course has been taken up by me. This is my fourth edition of this course, which basically means that I've taken up courses in the last 3 to 4 times when the course has been released. So I do understand the kind of variety we have in our audiences. It includes the college students, the college faculty members. Uh, then we have got industry professionals who are trying to understand this, and young people who are planning to have their own startup. And it also includes the professionals who were retired from their normal jobs. So what I've seen is a variety of individuals across ages, across professions, who have taken up this course. And the aim is to understand about more understanding about the incubation and entrepreneurship, so that it can help in their respective journeys. Right now, every class I request the learners who have joined in to introduce themselves. So now is the time, if anybody want to tell about themselves, their name, their college. I think that would be enough with their camera on. So do we have any learners who would want to just introduce themselves? Your name, your college, that's it. We've got 3 to 4 learners. We've got Darshal, Ria, and Sri Santhia. Anyone of you would like to introduce yourself? All right. No issues. At least be there in the session. And when we are having that set of 10 questions, or if you have any doubts, you can unmute and speak, or you can simply utilize the Gmeet chat box, and we can have a dialogue using this in-call messages, right? So that we will follow. And let me share my screen. If my screen is visible to you, you can just text me in the chat box and I'll be able to know it. My screen is visible. Can you please type in and let me know? Uh, are you able to see my screen and my audio is there? You can hear me as well. Just type in and we'll begin the session. Anyone? I think so. It should be available. Is it available? Available? Yes. Yes. Oh, that's great. Thank you so much. So once again, we are here at the week five. Today is 24th of August, and we are taking the problem solving session of understanding incubation and entrepreneurship. And today is week five. Usually we have sessions in the Saturdays, basically on the Saturdays. But yesterday there was some kind of an engagement. It was a training course which was being continued for me, so I was not able to, come out of it. And that is why I requested to shift this session to Sunday. So my apologies if there has been any kind of inconvenience at your end. Uh, okay, but we'll try to fulfill what was expected yesterday in today's session. All right. So as you all know that the initial sessions, the initial slide deck of the presentation is common to all these sessions. So if you have already attended one or two sessions, you will be aware of it. But still, as we have been informed that a new learner might join in any of these sessions right from week 1 to week 12. So we are obliged to follow that slide deck. So if you have gone through this, you can sit back and relax. Meanwhile, I'll just repeat this particular information regarding the protocol slides. All right. So these live sessions are there to help you. In the current run, of course, we will be discussing and solving the week specific assignment, which includes a set of 10 questions. And these are other than the live assignments. So live assignments are there to assess you, to mark you. But here, when we discuss these set of 10 questions, first of all, they are different. All right. And the second is that we don't do any kind of marking. Okay. No marking. So it is basically for you to evaluate your understanding and understand what are the different typology of questions that may be asked. And we do not mark on these set of 10 questions. The marking is taken care in the live assignment, which is available in the NPTEL portal. Okay. So you can be very free in sharing your thoughts around the answers of the questions. No need to worry about. There is no marking involved in it. It is just for your understanding, for your benefit, to have a more views around what are the different ways the questions can form in that kind of lecture content. Okay. We also respond to the questions and queries if you have any. There are multiple ways of doing that, and we'll discuss about it. And we also do a content recap of the ongoing week. So, which means that today we are discussing week 5. So, basically, we'll be covering the week 5 content. Okay. Although I also believe that week 6 content must also be live. But we are going week 5, so we'll be pertaining to the week 5 content. Okay. Since all these sessions are recorded, and with recording, I just quick click whether recording has been kept on. Just a minute. Yes, the recording is on. Thanks. All right. Okay, first screen. So since all these sessions are recorded and they need to be uploaded on YouTube, so it's a humble request to all the participants to keep your mic on mute. But you may feel free to share or discuss anything. You can unmute and speak. And if you have any questions, you can use the discussion forum functionality, right? This is available in the Ask a Question tab. You can click here and you can explore and you can ask questions. And there is a dedicated resource who is taking care of these questions and responding to these questions, right? All these questions are being recorded and these are being uploaded on the YouTube, and the presentations, the annotated ones, are converted into a PDF, and these are also being uploaded in the Google Drive location. Okay, here to reach out to these links, you need to go to problem solving session and you have to click here. This will lead you to a spreadsheet, and in the spreadsheet you can have the contents and the relevant information which is available in a week-wise manner. So if you click on this link, next to week 1, week 2, week 3, you start getting the respective YouTube links for it. So if you click there, you'll reach out to that particular video session. So if you miss out any of these sessions, and if you want to revisit them, or even if you have attended these sessions, but just before your exams, you would like to have a quick look around them, the best way is this YouTube channel, and you can get all the content for all the weeks in here, right? Meanwhile, the presentations which are in PDF, these are basically uploaded to a shared folder. Okay, it's a shared folder. So you can upload, in fact, you can download all the relevant PDFs in one go, which will be downloaded in the form of a zip file, and then you can unzip it or extract it to have a look at the individual PDFs. Okay, all right. I think this everybody knows. It's very much clear by now. It's understanding incubation and entrepreneurship. The course instructor is Professor V.K. Chakravarti sir. He's from the IDC School of Design at IIT Bombay, and he also takes care of the Design Innovation Center activities at IIT Bombay. Currently, he's setting up the School of Design at the Mahindra University, and it is located in Hyderabad as of now. Okay, so the duration of the course is 12 weeks, and today we are at week 5, at critical juncture, very close to the midway. The week 5 assignment deadline is 27, so you've got few days to attempt the assignment if you have not done. As of now, the final examination date is 26th of October. Either of the two slots, either pre-lunch or post-lunch, and depending upon what kind of choices you have given for the examination center, in that exam center you will have to appear and participate in the examination. Okay. Now, in terms of how you see your progress, so in your portal there is something called as progress tab. It will show you 3 heads, which is assessment score, unit wise score, and grading. So unit wise is basically the amount of content you have absorbed, you have gone through. That will be visible here. So the blue part indicates what you have already seen, and the gray part or the empty part represents the amount of content which is still not you by you. All right. Assessment scores. So if you have been participating in the quizzes, the live assignment, you would have got some scores. The scores are available only when the deadline is over. Okay. These are some details with respect to the examination certificate. Uh, well, I mean, all these dates were given, and there was information about the fee waiver for certain categories. I think you've all gone through about it. The last date was the 15th, then it was further extended, and it was again extended till 22nd of August. So I think that was the date. That was the critical date of registration. If there is any further extension, we need to look out for the announcement section. Okay. So I sincerely believe that all those who have been appearing for examination, they have already registered. Just in case you have not registered, it's a little hard to see some new deadline, but you can anyways see the announcement section for those things. And if not, you can just try to email the NPTEL support team to fill more about it. Okay. Now, these are the criteria to gain a certificate. I would want you to have a look at it very quickly, and then we'll discuss about it. Okay, just take a minute to understand what we are trying to say, and uh, so what we can do is we can also try something very quickly. So this thing, let us try to visualize it. Uh, way. So this is one of the AI tools. If you have not used, you can explore it for creating visuals. The tool is called Napkin AI, and what we need to do is we need to paste the content here, and it generates a visual around it. So it senses the content, and it gives you certain options of making visualization. So now it is not related to the course, but then just for increasing your AI-based knowledge system, I think it's a good way of seeing and visualizing. And you can see these are the different ways by which you can visualize it. whichever way you think is the best. You can select it, which makes most sense to you, right? Click more to see other typology visualization. So we can select any one of it. Okay, maybe it's like this. Now within this, you have the option of visualizing it in a different way. So maybe we will select this one. Okay. So now this is ready. What we'll do is we'll just copy it, try to paste it here. Stick. So this is something which is very quick. You can utilize this tool. It's created through an Napkin AI. And now what we are trying to say is we'll just discuss over here. So the main important aspect is about certificate eligibility. You need to have minimum assignment score and minimum exam score. All right, this is very, very critical. Okay. Now the total sum of the scores is of assignment and your final examination, where assignment weightage is 25% and exam weightage is 75%. And the 75% weightage exam is a proctored examination where you go to a physical venue, just like you went for your class 10th, 12th examination or your board examination, right? And the 25% weightage is given to the assignment score. And out of 12, we take the best 8 out of it. Okay. So that is another functionality of NPTEL where it shows that, how much learner centric it is, right? So you need to have let me write that in a different color. All right. You need to score greater than 10 out of 25 and greater than 30 out of 75 in order to have your score greater than 40 out of 100. Okay. Now here come certain scenarios. Scenario one is that you scored beautifully. You scored 25, 20 out of 25, and then you scored maybe not very well here. You scored 25 out of 75, and your overall score is 45 out of 100. Okay. Another scenario is where you scored 5 out of 25, you scored 50 out of 75, you scored 55 out of 100. Okay. Now, the catch here is that in both these scenarios, you will not get a certificate. And I'll tell you why. So, here you are meeting the greater than 10 marks criteria. Here you are failing the 30 marks criteria. So, no certificate, although you are meeting greater than 40 criteria. Again, coming here, you're not meeting this criteria, but you have met this criteria and even this criteria, right? So, individual criteria, the assignment score needs to be very well fulfilled. All right. So, passing this as well as this is very, very critical. All right. You have to ensure this and you have to take care of this. Is my screen visible, guys? Now present, and once again, I'll try to present it. Okay. So here we are at week 4. We have completed all this. Week 1, we started the very basic fundas of Introduction to Design, Evidence-Based Entrepreneurship, GDC, and then Journey of Mr. Tino Joseph. And then we went to the week two, wherein we saw the journey of Mustafa, and then three members from the GTC have been part of the GTC programs. Then comes the methodology of innovation, Chakku's seven concerns, followed by the week four, which was a solar one case study by Mr. Avinash from IIT Bombay. And then we are here at week five. We are talking about health and innovation, the medtech success stories, and the innovation process, which include the 4D process. Okay. There are two typology of questions. One is based on single correct answer. So only one correct answer is here. Yes, so these are called radio buttons. In this, only you can select only one of it, right? So if you make a choice to potato, then this will be gone. Okay. Here it's again a multiple choice question, but then you can have multiple correct answers. So if I want, I can select this, or this, or if you want, I can select all. Okay, so thoughtfully you have to make choices. But while making these choices, it is also important to remember what is the background algorithm which is being running and which is available in the marking of multiple choice questions. Okay. So if all options chosen by the students are correct and no incorrect answer has been chosen, full marks. If it at least one incorrect answers, then no marks, and then if only correct answers, but not all, then proportional marks. Okay. So what I'll do is I'll just quickly write a question and you will have to tell me the answers. Just a basic question. Okay. Which among the below are Indian singers? You have got the responses and you have to tell me which is the correct response. Anyone, you can type in the chat box and we'll discuss it. Okay. Quickly, guys. What are the correct answers? Indian singers. Okay. So scenario one is so you select all the correct ones and you submit and you get full marks. Okay. Very straightforward, very clear. Okay. Here, if you select even one, everything is gone. A, B, D, B, C, D, A, C, D, A, D, B, D, whatever it is. No marks because you have selected D, which is not the correct answer. Now, here comes the catch in the third scenario. It says proportional marks may be given the fact that you have selected only the correct responses. Okay, which means you selected A and C, B and C. Okay, A and B, or A or B or C and submitted. Although you have not selected all the correct ones, but then you have made two correct choices, which means you might get 0.6s for the for these two as well, and 0.33 for these two. Okay. So it's very important to be aware of the marking criteria because it helps you in terms of making informed choices, right? About the questions which are being given. Okay. Now, these were the GMeet learners from week four, and my best wishes to all these. Just write congratulations for being there, for viewing this content, being a part of this 12-week journey. It will also be good if you continue to be a part of these live sessions. Be more dialogue based, conversation based, and speak up, share your opinions to make the sessions more lively, right? So, what I'll do is I'll quickly go through the visual summary and then I'll also show a couple of things which are there. We've got Professor B. Ravi from the Decisive School of Entrepreneurship, and it's his team, Betty, which is the Biomedical Engineering and Technology Innovation Center. We've got other people. The credentials of Professor B. Ravi is immensely high, has been very, very active in most of the initiatives, and he talks about it. He also shares stories about the IU device, the smart stethoscope, and he starts with how product innovation has begun in India and how we need to make startups which can make money and then also improve the knowledge base. He details about the various values of death, basically a product innovation cycle, which has also been discussed by Professor Chakravarti sir, quite similar to it. But this has details around the kind of investment which is needed in the different stages. Now, what you see exceptionally here is TRL. It's something which is very, very critical, which is called the technology readiness level. And on the basis of it, you can see you have got one, two, three, and four, and you can launch your product. It basically defines at what stage your product is, so that if you're talking to any investment or any kind of funding, you can clearly tell that you are at TRL level 2, TRL level 3, TRL level 4, and accordingly you can take the things forward. These are called the SDGs, Sustainable Development Goals. In Hindi, we call it Satat Vikas Lakshya, okay, which is the sustainable development goals. So, those of you who are not aware of the Hindi language, I'm just trying to tell you. It is called Satat Vikas Lakshya Sustainable Development Goals, which are a set of 17 goals across different domains of gender equality, education, industry, climate, environment. It includes all those 17 parameters. Now, this is where he starts with the healthcare devices, how we have improved upon our medical facilities, what the different typology, segmentation of the devices, right from diagnosis to treatment, from screening, monitoring, diagnosis to assistive devices, and then the kind of risks which are associated with these type of devices. So on the left hand side, what you see is the low risk zone, and then on the right hand, what you see is the high risk zone, right? So from left to right, the regulatory controls also increases because the risk to the human body increases in these set of devices. Okay. What you see here is the medical device industry, which is statistic shown by Professor B. Ravi. It's telling about the market projections. Uh, and some story about the medical device industry in the Indian context, and it tells about wherein the Western countries have high quality, the Eastern countries focus more on low cost, right, and things like that. These are the various market pull factors which is described, and then comes the story of Dr. Nambiraj, who shared his concern about the journey around smart stethoscope, which was basically about three individuals, Tapas, Dr. Namiraj, and Adarsha, coming together, making various field visits, understanding the use case, the scenarios, and doing field visits, case studies across medical context, and immersing in the market. And this is how they improved upon their initial concept to a final product, which also included an app, and they got the big funding. It is called the big grant because they got around 50 lakh of funding, and how the device can be paired up with a mobile application and can make things work much more easier and in a touchless way, wireless way, right? So these are the various critical factors, medtech stories, the 4D process, Now the 4D process is about the medical device innovation process, wherein it is about define, develop, deliver, and deploy, and it has been detailed out more by Professor Ravi in terms of examples and the context about the domain familiarization, uh, the problem statement, what it should include, what it should not include. It should not be vague. It should not pinpoint to the solution, but it must go to the root cause. And then he gives an example of how do you define uh, the problem area, right? So these are certain examples, the feasibility test and the develop how the with an example how one has developed so many things. This is the knee ankle foot orthosis by Anish Karam. It was also given a patent. It was granted a patent. Right. So business model, I think we've already seen it. Reflection points. So Betic is seen as a running partner for medtech innovators, and this is the Betic pipeline. So if you see, it starts with Medha, which is a 2 day event. It's like a hackathon, which is the medical device hackathon. It is followed by the medic, which is 1 week. You see the durations are also increasing, right? Then comes the support and Betic, 1 year fellowship. MEDX is the exhibition. EX stands for exhibition. Sign is again business incubation. And then the medical park is basically about the business expansion. Okay, so it is the Betic pipeline which they say. I want you to keep a note of it. It's an important thing and it can really help in your questioning. Then what you see is the range of startups under Betic. If you see it, it pertains to approximately all the body parts, right? So it's very significant how they have been able to work upon this. So I think all of you have gone through this, concept of ikigai, and this is the additional learning materials which you can explore through your time. Before we start the question, I have just a couple of more things to share. First, what I'll do is I'll just quickly check if this is going to be fine. All right, this is perfectly fine. Yeah, so I'll share the tab, and here we've got this thing. So now what you see here is the uh, medical device innovation in India, and it is basically having the three core concepts which we discussed. Uh, so the content which was offered in week 5, it had three aspects. It was the case study, IO devices, smart stethoscope, 4D innovation process, and then the innovation ecosystem and challenges. Right. So let's start with the IO devices. So this in itself include the problem identification, team formation, development, evolution, and the business impact. The problem identification, if you recall, it was about Dr. Namiraj who shared the fact that it was difficult to distinguish the sounds of the lungs and that of the heart. When he listened to the breathing and heart sound, it was difficult, to distinguish, which one is coming from where, and that's where it started as a challenge, and then the context of rural hospital, because it's very hard from a patient from a rural background to immediately being referred to a higher center because it costs a lot of money, lots of money and those aspects. And then the difficulty of recognizing sound, which we have related here, the critical assessment dilemma, the patient inconvenience, because if you feel that it is related to heart, it needs to be referred, but then if it's a dilemma, then it is something which the patient bears upon the cost of traveling, there, and then the need of remote second opinion. So how can we have the second opinion, right? Uh, Let's collapse this and see the team formation. So all these met at the medic camp, which is the uh, wherein they all three from different backgrounds. So Tapas was an electronics engineer, Adarsha was a software engineer, and Dr. Nambiraj is doctor. And then they all met there, and then they tried to proceed further in their investigation. Uh, so development evolution, they first made a POC and they did a user feedback and the final product. So if you see, they got the first prize in this in the Medic 2015, and there was no looking back. In terms of prototype and user feedback, they did a market immersion in which they were mostly in that kind of hospital environment, doctors, meeting doctors, understanding how the stethoscopes are used. They consulted Dr. Pinto from the Hinja Hospital. Uh, and for the final product, they started working around it and they developed an app, a software which can actually give first-hand information, first-hand analysis, then the Bluetooth integration, doctors monitoring, really for patient recovery, right? So it was very, very critical during the COVID times because, wherein touching and being in proximity was a challenge. This was a game changer at that time. Okay. Then comes your final product. I think this we have already seen. We'll move on to this. So then the patent filing not only in India and various different countries, they got the big PIRAC grant of 50 lakhs from the government. So around 800 applications, only 15 to 20 organizations or groups or startups they get it on the basis of the merit of their proposition. They formed their company and the team started with three. Later on, saw 30 to 40 people joining in. They've got a lot of awards and recognition. Now, this is very interesting because if you see, they've got so many awards in Gujarat startup, Maharashtra startup, and what they do is instead of money, they give the money and they ask you to deliver those products and those numbers. So it's a very great way of supporting these startups. And then you have got market adoption, wherein you see for various different locations they delivered their products in different units, and they also started getting international orders. Inspiration, oh, yeah, yeah. So that's there. So we've seen the business and impact which it created. You can collapse this, and then comes the 4D innovation process, right? So 4D innovation process, it's a four-step process, starting with define, develop, deliver, and deploy. Define is about these four: team building, clinical immersion, problem definition, and concept evaluation and thing. So you can see how team from different diversity are built upon, collated, and formed. Clinical immersion is one of the critical aspects. Problem definition, they say that, in fatigue, that you talk to 100 people, at least 100 people. Uh, and then you have got the four checks and the creative design thinking. Right. So this all was a part of the defined stage, right? Then comes the develop stage, and you see here, how the develop starts. So it starts with the concepts, sketches, basic mock-ups, then 3D printed, and then finally reaching out to the final and critical stages of the this thing. Then you've got the deliver stage. You see the lab testing, clinical trial, certification, mechanical, and the foot. You see here, all the different aspects, the testing, the award, everything. It requires a lot of investment of time, money, and effort. But once you reach there, it is all worth it. And then comes your deploy stage. Deploy is wherein you first do the IPR, licensing, and then you try to build a business around it. Okay. So that concluded the 4D innovation process, and then the research, innovation ecosystem and challenges. So sort of the importance of uh, entrepreneurship, the various challenges around it, and then the values of death. We have already seen, how critical it is to move on from each and every stage. It's very critical. The healthcare sector importance, it was also very much established by Professor Biravi in terms of how it relates to the different SDGs, and how it is creating an impact. Then the medical device market, in terms of numbers, statistics, how it is critical, and the drivers of innovation, the pull factors, uh, stakeholders and collaboration. So how the different entities can actually play a very critical role, right from industry, academia, hospital, NGOs, in this entire journey. Then comes fatigue, which is the biomedical engineering technical incubation center, and you see here, how it has helped, uh, uh, you know, come up with teams, innovations for different body parts, philosophical aspects. Yeah. So here, if you see Lakshmi and Saraswati combination, which he discussed about, focus on building new, not fighting the old, and the ikigai concept of what you love, what you're good at, what you paid for, things like that. So this basically gives you a very good concept mapping, and it collapses each and every aspects into one this flowchart. So it's basically called concept mapping, and I hope it is something which you might look for, and it helps you understand the flow of the content, right? Uh, I also have a video in this, and I'll just quickly play it. Okay, so I'll stop presenting, and once again I'll share my screen. So let me know if you are able to have a look at the video.
Sometimes the biggest revolutions don't start with some crazy complex new invention. They start with the simplest tools. Today, we're going to look at how a small team took the humble stethoscope and turned it into an actual life-saving bridge, one that connects rural patients with city doctors. And their story? Well, it's a powerful blueprint for anyone looking to innovate. Okay, let's get into it. Everything, and I mean everything, started right here, with this one simple question. This wasn't about technology just for the sake of technology. Nope, this was about solving a very real, very human problem. A problem of distance, money, and of course, time. And that problem was born from the daily pressures faced by one single doctor, working in a place that was miles away from any of the high-tech medical centers you'd find in a big city. So, try to picture this. You're Dr. Nambi Raj. A patient walks in. You listen to their heart, their lungs, and you hear
So
something.
it
Something you're
tells
just
the
not
entire
quite sure about.
information around
Is it
the
serious? I mean,
smart
life or death
stethoscope
serious?
journey
Do you tell this
through
person,
this video
who
format.
probably can't afford it, to make a long, expensive trip to the city? Or is it nothing? The weight of that decision was on him and him alone every single day. And Dr. Raj's problem wasn't just his problem. It was a symptom of a massive national issue. At that time, India was importing a staggering 80% of its medical devices. Just think about that. It means most advanced tech was incredibly expensive and just completely out of reach for millions of people, especially in rural communities. So, you might think the solution had to come from some giant corporation, right? Wrong. The answer came from a really unlikely team. 3 total strangers who were about to change everything. I mean, just look at this group. You've got the doctor with the real-world problem, then an electronics engineer from a semiconductor company, and an electrical and software engineer. These guys were from completely different worlds, with totally different skills, brought together by the shared mission to solve a problem that really, really mattered. And boy, did they move fast. They all meet at this innovation camp, and get this, just 4 days later, they've already slapped together a working proof of concept and won first prize. But here's the real turning point. 6 months go by, and the two engineers, Tapas and Didarsha, they just can't shake this idea. They realized their corporate jobs felt kind of meaningless in comparison. So they decided to go all in. And their first attempt was, well, it was pretty rough. We're talking a standard stethoscope, basically hacked together with a microphone and a laptop. But you know what? It worked. Tapas put it on his own chest, and the whole room could hear his heartbeat. So yeah, the prototype was messy, but the vision it represented was absolutely crystal clear. Okay, so having a great idea is one thing, but turning it into a real product that doctors are actually going to trust and use every single day, that's a whole different challenge. Let's see how they did it. Now, this part is so important. Before building anything else, the engineers spent 3 months just listening. They didn't just guess what features doctors might want. They went into actual hospitals and asked them, what do you need? This wish list you see here, it came directly from those conversations. And the transformation was just incredible. They went from that clunky, laptop-dependent setup to this sleek, elegant little module that could just snap onto any existing stethoscope, instantly making it smart. And it was all connected to a mobile app that did everything on the doctor's wish list. That right there is the power of user-centered design. So with a solid prototype in hand and a clear vision, they managed to get a highly competitive government grant of 50 lakh rupees. That was the catalyst they needed. This funding allowed them to officially create their company, IU Devices, and start thinking about making these things at scale. All right, so they built it, but did it actually make a difference? Let's look at the real-world impact once this device got into the hands of healthcare workers out on the ground. The impact was immediate, and it was huge. In just a few years, they sold over 3,000 units. Now, that's not just a sales number. Every single one of those devices became a new link, a new bridge between a rural patient and a city specialist, directly closing that critical healthcare gap. And to really get why this matters so much, just look at these numbers. India needs an estimated 88,000 cardiologists. It only has about 4,000. That is a massive gap. For the 200,000 children born with congenital heart disease there every single year, a device that can send their heart sounds to one of those few specialists isn't a convenience. It is an absolute lifeline. And we're not just talking about statistics. This is a direct quote from someone at a rural health camp. A doctor using the device picked up the very subtle signs of a mild heart attack, called an ambulance immediately, and a life was saved. That is tangible, undeniable impact. But the team didn't stop there. When the COVID-19 pandemic hit, they saw a new, urgent problem, and they innovated again. They quickly added a Bluetooth feature. This meant a doctor could be in a totally different room or even at home, listening to a patient's lungs, which protected frontline workers from getting exposed. It was another brilliant adaptation to a pressing, real-world need. So, how did they do it all? This amazing success story wasn't just a stroke of luck. It was the result of a very deliberate, structured process, a blueprint that really anyone can follow. The framework that guided them is called the 4D innovation process. It's basically a roadmap designed to help innovators get through the toughest parts of product development, what some people call the valleys of death, which is where most great ideas, sadly, go to die. It breaks down pretty simply like this. First, you define the problem, just like Dr. Raj did. Second, you develop the solution, like that first clunky prototype. Third, you deliver a tested product by listening to your users. That was their 3 months of talking to doctors. And finally, you deploy it with a real business model, which they did by creating IU Devices. It's a clear, repeatable path from idea to impact. And when you boil it all down, this is the main takeaway. The story of the smart stethoscope proves that world-changing innovation doesn't have to be complicated. It just has to start with deep empathy for a real problem. So the question I want to leave you with is this. What problem in your world is just waiting for its simple, elegant, and impactful solution?
So I believe all of you saw the video. I hope it was audible as well. All right. So what we do is we are approaching the midway, and as I've said that it's important to take quick breaks. We'll take a break for like 5 to 7 minutes, and then we will be starting our set of 10 questions. All right. So it's 3:55. Let's try to be available before 4 hours, 5 minutes. Okay, let's take a 5 to 10 minutes break and then we'll start. Okay. Meanwhile, what I'll do is I'll share my question. So if you've got time, you can. All right, welcome back, dear students. So we are back from break, and we'll start with our set of 10 questions. So I hope you are there, you are available, and you are excited. And I want you to please share your opinions using the in-call messages. Okay. So in Gmeet, you have got the messages tab. Utilize it. Text your choice of option and let me know. All right. So here we start with our set of sorry, yeah, set of 10 questions. Right. So the first question is, according to Professor B. Ravi in Module 5, it is advisable for small startups to opt for which kind of devices and for what reason. So think you've got enough time to ponder upon it. The options are high risk medical device because the profit is high, low risk medical device because the investment is low, active device because it has got good value proposition, and handheld device because it is easy to manage. Okay. So now is the time. Think about it, and in the in-call messages, you can share your choices in the form of A, B, C, or D. You've got four options here, and we are trying to understand the advice for small startups. What is the advice given for small startups to opt for which kind of device? Which kind of device? So you've got options like high risk, which is option A. You've got low risk, which is option B. And you've got active device, which is option C. And you've got handheld device, handheld, which is option D. So we're trying to understand Professor B. Ravi's advice uh, to small and young startups who are working in the healthcare sector to opt for which kind of device as they begin their journeys. Should it be high risk device? Because obviously the cost is high and the profit is high. Low risk device because the investment is low, because also the costing would be low. Active devices which are active in your body, for example, the pacemaker, right? And handheld device, because they are easy to manage. We've got two votes. We've got one vote for option B and one vote for option C. Let's have a quick look. Okay, so if you recall, this was the risk classification from medical device, which starts from low risk to high risk. Now, what he suggests is that one should, if you are a small startup, you are just working together in this particular medical healthcare domain, it's always good to begin with this particular sector. Uh, any reason why you should prefer this? Because of this particular reason. Because when you are at the low risk zone, the regulatory controls are very, very less, right? Usually regulatory controls from the government bodies, from the healthcare bodies, they are very minimal for low risk devices. But as and when you proceed further towards class 2, class 3, and finally class 4, the regulatory controls increases because then it is the case of life and death, right? So for high risk, there would be high levels of regulatory controls. You have to have many checklists, you have to follow many protocols, you have to get many certifications, right? So all these things will enhance in your high risk devices, right? So I hope you are able to understand what would be the answer. The correct answer is B, which is low risk medical device because the investment is low. All right. Lowest medical device. Thank you. Then comes our second question, which is related to the biomed innovation. So the question is, as mentioned in the module biomed innovation, which of these may be classified as a screening device? Okay, you have to tell me which among the following is a screening device. Your options are smart stethoscope, ventilator, oxygen concentrator, and all of the above. So from here, you have to tell me the which among the following is a screening device. So you've got four options. I think it's very direct one. Okay, we have got one vote for option C. Others can also got one vote for option A. All right. Others can also join in this particular question. You have to tell us what is the screening device among these four options. Okay. Interesting. We've got option D as well. So just to tell you what is a screening device, I mean it helps you screen for certain things, right? Uh, okay. Okay. What we'll do is we'll go to the next part. So just to summarize, we've got three votes and three different choices. So smart stethoscope has also been proposed as one of the options, oxygen concentrator, and I'm sorry, all of the above. Okay. Let's go to the screen validation. Okay. Now, the choices were oxygen concentrator and ventilator. Okay. Now, ventilator is a life support device. Okay. It is not a screening device. And similarly, oxygen concentrator also, because it is used when you are having you're low on oxygen, you need to be continuously provided it to be provided to you. It's a matter of life and death, and this comes in the category of life support devices. Okay. What are the screening devices? As you clearly see, is something which helps you screen for basic things, as simple as the stethoscope, right? So if you see here, the correct answer to the question is a smart stethoscope. I think one of the learners have correctly opted it. Among these following devices, stethoscope is a screening device. All these are monitoring and life support devices. Okay. So there is various categories of. If the question comes around life support, that would be a correct answer. If the question comes around diagnostic based devices, then X-ray, CT scans, MRI scans, all those are diagnosis based. Okay. And then assisted. So, given the typology of devices, you will have to select your option here. Okay. I've also told you how it can vary if you select the other subheads. All right. I think it's clear. Okay. Let's go to our third question. As discussed by Professor Ravi in the module Biomed Innovation, what are the four important stages of medical device innovation? Now, guys, this has been clearly articulated multiple times and through the video as well. We are talking about the four important stages of medical device innovation process. Okay. So, what are those stages? You have to tell. Is it define, develop, deliver, deploy, deliver, define, discovery, develop, discuss, define, deploy, deliver, download, discovery? You've got four choices. You have to tell us the correct option. Take your time, think about it. Very clear cut, although confusing. But you have to tell us the four Ds, which among the following? We've got three votes. One vote is for option A, and two votes are for option C. I just request the learners to please refer and recall the images. We have shown that in the content recap, and it also appeared in our videos as well. Just try to recall it. Just try to remember it. Okay, let's have a screen validation. In the medical device, the innovation process is defined and take a different, let's first erase it. The first step is define. Second step is develop. Third step is deliver. And the fourth step is deploy. Okay. So you define the problem area, you start developing concepts, you start developing, your ideas, you arrive on to some kind of a prototype, then you deliver it. Yeah, you deliver your whatever you have made, and then you deploy it among the masses. So if you see here, the defined stage is where in this particular smart stethoscope, it was the doctor who defined the problem. The researchers, the software engineers, they worked upon and they developed the product, right? So if you see detailed design, visual prototype, rapid prototype, functional prototype, so this is where you develop the prototype. Deliver. So pilot manufacturing, pre-clinical testing, human clinical trials, device certification. So this requires the role of an entrepreneur to, once the prototype is developed, then you make it ready for the field through clinical trials and testing. And then comes the deployer, where the investor plays a role because then it will require a lot of funding in terms of reaching out to the users, reaching out to the right audiences. So it is about intellectual property filing, business model, mass production, and things like that. So the correct answer is option A, which is define, develop, deliver, and deploy. Now, again, I would like to tell you, how through critical thinking also you can arrive at this response. Now, in any process, if you see the product has to be made, right? It is medical device. So obviously, you need to make the device, right? So even if you see the last options, develop, define, discovery. Now, uh, define is a stage wherein you define a problem area. It cannot be the last stage. And it can never be the last. It needs to be in the first one or two, right? So in that ways, you can deduce that, okay, this cannot be the option. Again, the last option is develop. Now, prototype can be developed, but then actual field testing is required, right? So again, develop cannot be the last stage. Similarly, discovery cannot be the last stage. Now, if you see even download, doesn't make any sense. This is not part of it's not a steps. It is just an activity. So if you even go through this, you will deduce that, okay, probably option A is the correct one. All right. Let's come to our question 4. According to the module 5, Professor B. Ravi, which of these is not a golden rule for defining the problem statement. Remember, we are saying which one of these is not a golden rule. Okay. Must not be vague, must include what, why, and who, must include the solution, and must go to the root cause. We've got four options. One of them is correct. All right, we have got one option. One vote for option C. Okay, okay. Thanks, Harshika. We'll wait for others to reply, respond to it. Others also please think and share your perspective. The language of the question is little tricky because it is saying which one of these is not a golden rule. Okay, so we have to identify which one of these is not a golden rule. Must not be vague, must include why, what, and who, must include the solution, must go to the root cause. So one of the responses have responded. All right. Let's do the screen validation to it. Two votes for option C. Okay. Good. Okay. Now here it says problem statement must include what, why, and who. Who are the customers? What is your need? Must not be vague. Must not point to a solution. Now this is critical. It should not point to the solution, which means that it should not include the must go to the root cause. Okay. So here it is written must include the solution. Ideally, it should be must not include. So our correct answer is option C. I think our learners have clearly understood the question and appropriately addressed it. Okay. So ideally, a problem statement should have all these features. It should include what, why, and who. It should not be vague. It should not lead to a solution, point to a solution, and it should go to the root cause, the primary issue. Okay. Well done. Well done, guys. Let's go to our question 5. As discussed in the module innovation process, MITIC is seen as dash for med tech innovators. MITIC. Okay. So the options are running partners, investors, support, and none of the above. The question is, if I take the Medical Technology and Incubation Center is seen as dash for medtech innovators. You have to tell us how it is seen. Is it seen as a running partner? Is it seen as an investor, support, or none of the above? Think about it. Do a quick recap and then try responding to the question. Not very difficult, but requires some kind of observation. Come on, guys. Waiting for your response. Got one vote for option C. You need to tell us how Betic is seen for medtech innovators. So, for those innovators who are working in the area of medicine and technology, how is Betic seen, right? Is it seen as a running partner? Is it seen as an investor? Is it seen as a support? Or is it seen as none of the above? Okay, you've got two votes for support. All right, all right. Okay, let's do the screen validation. Okay. Biomedical Engineering and Technology Innovation Center, PETIC, BETIC. Okay. First of all, just try to remember this. Okay. There might be a question asking about the full form of this. Okay. Biomedical Engineering Technology Innovation Center. Okay. BETIC. So, like I mentioned here, it is BETIC. So it is like a running partner for medtech innovators. Okay, running partner. Okay, it's clearly mentioned. Okay, it is like a running partner. So see, it's a very subtle thing. It's difficult to identify, but then one has to be observant to, even catch these small things. Okay, so the correct answer to question five is Betty is seen as a, again, I just try to correct it here. Betty is seen as a running partner for medtech innovators. All right. Okay. Let's go to our sixth question. Again, here I just correct it. My mistake. Biomedical Engineering Technology Innovation Center. In Betic Pipeline, Medical Park is about what? Okay, is it about exhibition? Is it about business expansion, business incubator, or all of the above? Okay. If you remember, there was a slide which talked about Medha and things like that. Okay, FedEx, Medical Park. So there was something called as Medical Park. Okay, in the Betic Pipeline. I need to tell us what was that about. One vote for option D. Okay. So, cosmetic, Medha, and programs like that, all having different durations, varying durations. And you have to tell us one of the uh, offerings was the medical park. And what is it about? Is it about exhibitions? Is it about business expansion? Or is it about business incubator? All it is basically all of the above. Okay. So, like one of the learners have responded, is it about all of them? Let's see if there are a few more votes into this. In the Petit pipeline, the medical park is about what? Is it about exhibition, business expansion, business incubator, all of the above? You have to tell us what is about that particular term in the entire Petit pipeline. So, like I mentioned, the pipeline includes numerous programs of varying duration, starting from 2 days, 3 days to 1 week to 1 year, and likewise. So you have to tell us what that medical park donates. Okay, interestingly, we have got two votes, A and C. All right. Okay. But if you see, it is a round button, radio button question. Okay. It is a radio button question, which means that there will be only one correct answer. All right. There's only one correct answer. So out of two choices, you have to just let me know only one choice because it's a radio button question. All right. Okay. Let's do the screen validation. Okay. Now, if you remember, this is the Betic pipeline. Okay. So, as I told you, it starts with MEDHA, which is the medical device hackathon. HA is hackathon. Just remember like this. Okay. I'm telling you the key to remember it. MED is for medical. Okay. So, medical hackathon, MEDHA. It is a 2-day program. It starts with that. Okay. Then comes MEDIC and IC. IC is Innovation Camp. Okay. MEDIC is again medical device, you can remember. So MEDIC is about the IC, Innovation Camp. Okay. Then you have the support at BETIC, which is the Innovation Fellowship. So BETIC is having its own Innovation Fellowship. Then comes MEDIX, EX for the exhibition. Okay. If it is MEDIX, X, EX, which is about exhibition and validation. Then comes SIGN BI. BI stands for the business incubation. All right. And then finally, you have medical park, which is about expansion, business expansion. Okay. So I would suggest you to keep a note of this pipeline because it can really help you. A lot of questions can be framed around it. Okay. And once you have the clarity of this pipeline, at least these terms like MEDHA, Innovation Camp, BETIC, MEDEX, and Medical Park, I think it can really help you along with these associations identify, train, support, networking at MEDEX, startup at incubation, and scale up. So it is also used for scaling up your operations. So one can also write that although medical park is about the business expansion, what is it the primary job of a medical park? And that's where the response could be around scaling up. Okay. So there are a couple of ways in which this question can be asked. It can also be asked in terms of duration. That which among the following is a activity which is conducted for 2 days? Is it MEDHA, MEDIC, MEDEX, or medical park? Okay. So in a lot of ways, you can frame questions. So that is why I'm saying that keep a note of this particular Betic pipeline. It can be really very helpful for further framing of questions. All right. So just to clarify, the correct answer is business expansion. Medical park is about business expansion. Okay, it is about scaling up. All right. Let's go to our seventh question. Complete the following. According to Professor Ravi, dash are far cheaper to solve various health problems, especially in India. What are we talking about? What is this blank about? Is it about surgical equipments, hospital appliances, customized implants, or mass screening devices? So the blank can have four options, of which only one is correct. Okay. According to Professor Ravi, which are far cheaper to solve various health problems, especially in India: surgical equipment, hospital appliances, customized implants, or mass screening device. Okay. You've got four choices, and of which one of them is correct. You have to make a thoughtful choice onto it and let me know. Okay. Again, the same way you can type in your option and you can respond. Think about it. So we've got two responses, and two responses are pertaining to option B. Okay, let's see the screen validation. All right. So reflection point. We've got basic screening devices because these are not very critical ones. Also, they are low on the regulatory controls. So these are quite cheap as compared to surgical equipments and those which are at a high risk stage, right? So the correct answer, what you have suggested, is option D. Very well done. Uh, it is the mass screening devices. Okay. Screening devices. Well done. Well done, guys. Okay. Let's come to our question number 8. Which of these can be one of the key insights? Okay, we are talking about the key insights derived from the module Biomed Innovation. Focus on innovation, focus on the end user, focus on the product, and focus on the business. Okay, I think it's a very direct question. You just have to think about it, ponder upon it. It has been an overall theme, and it's basically the answer to this is an overarching theme which is flowing right from week one up till now, and we'll go till the end. You have to tell us which of these can be one of the key insights. Okay. Focus on innovation, focus on end user, focus on the product, and focus on the business. We've got option B as one. Interesting. Okay, okay. Others can also reply. The key insights derived, whether it is innovation, the end user, product, or the business. So what vote for option A? All right. Okay, let's have a look at the screen validation. If you reach out to this particular, I mean, we don't have a direct screenshot of it, but if you reach out to this particular timestamp, he clearly mentions about that the focus should be on the end user. And if you see right from week 1 to week till now, we have been continuously talking about end user, potential customers. You would have seen terms, which we have been using: potential customers, target audience, right? End user, customer, all these relates to that one particular thing. So it is basically the overarching theme that we need to understand the end user, okay, the potential customers. So the focus needs to be on the end user, as one of you have rightly mentioned. And with that, we come to our second last question of the day. And the question is, according to Professor B. Ravi, an ideal team structure is composed of. Now, remember here, guys, that it is a multiple select question. There are multiple correct answers to it because there is a square box next to it. Okay. So there could be multiple answers. The options given to you are interdisciplinary researchers, experienced vendors, end users, and visiting experts. So give a thought to it. It's a little tricky, but I think if you even if you go by proportionate marking, you would be able to guess at least few of them very, very correctly. Ideal team structure. So if you are planning to start, initiate, or begin with a startup, you will need to have a team. So that team should comprise of what all members. Okay, so these are different types of members they are suggesting: interdisciplinary researchers, experienced mentors, end users, and visiting experts. You need to tell what could be the composition of that team structure. Uh, and these are the different members. Ideal team structure. So very good. We have got two responses. The votes have been given to. All right, two each. Yeah, it's very close. Okay, two votes here, two votes here, and two votes there. Okay, so you've got two votes for interdisciplinary researchers and similar votes for experienced mentors and visiting experts. Interesting, interesting. Let's do the screen validation. So here is the team structure, and if you see this hut, this team structure comprises of one interdisciplinary researchers, experienced vendors, facility managers, and visiting experts. So if you remember, this has been replaced with the end user. Okay. So the correct answer there should be facility managers. So the correct responses are A, B, and D, as you have rightly pointed out. Very well done. Very good. Very good. In fact, very well opted. Okay. So according to Professor B. Ravi in Module 5, ideal team structure should compose of interdisciplinary researchers, experienced mentors, and visiting experts, as you have rightly pointed out. Well done. Well done. Now let's reach on to our final question. And the final question is a fill in the blanks. Okay. So as mentioned in module 5 by Professor B. Ravi, dash is the first step in the product innovation. Well articulated solution, well conceptualized idea, well defined plan, and well defined unmet need. Okay. So of these three responses, only one is correct. And you need to tell what is the first step in product innovation. What is the step one in product innovation? Okay. So if this is the oh, I'm so sorry. This is the ladder of product innovation. You have to tell me what is the first system. Okay. Which among the following? I've got one vote for option D. Just considering this is product innovation. Okay. You have to tell us the first step. Okay. What is the first step for product innovation? It starts, and the options given to you are well articulated solution, conceptualized idea, well defined plan, and well defined need. And one of the responses given, the choice given by the learner is well defined unmet need. And I would encourage the other members in the group, if you can also share your thought, your choice of the correct answer, it will be great. First step, we are trying to understand the first step in the product innovation. All right, we'll do a screen validation. Okay, so it clearly states, now if you see, we have already shown these images many a times. A well-defined unmet need is the first step in the product innovation. Clear statement of user need is minimum words. Clear statement for user need in. So your naturally the answer would become well-defined unmet need. Okay. So very well done by one of our the learners. The correct answer is well-defined unmet need. Okay, well done, well done, very well done. So with that, we conclude our set of 10 questions. We'll quickly look at the discussion forum, right? Because there have been questions being raised in the discussion forum, and it's always good to have a quick note to it. I just open up this particular platform and we'll show you. So I'll just show you some basic touch points because it's important to know the different actions, resources provided and offered by the NPTEL. Okay. So here, if you see, this was I was referring to the progress. You would be able to see your scores till assignment 4, I believe, if you have opted for unit-wise progress and the grading policy. Although grading policy is something which I also showcase in my slide deck, but I think it's always good for you to refer to it for more cleared instance. Okay, right. I was referring to the problem solving session. It is here. It will open a spreadsheet and you should be able to see week wise. So today's content will be uploaded soon in some time and we'll have a look at it. Okay. There is something more here. It is a link on the survey. So those of you who have been regular to these sessions, I would request you to please fill in this survey. It will take a minute or two, but then it will give a good amount of information to us The survey is about the problem solving sessions which I'm conducting. You can rate your expectations. How did you like the survey, and any feedback, anything good about it? If you felt encouraging, if you felt that the session was informative, I think it is the best place to share your inputs around it. All right. Now, the important aspect of downloading videos. Here, if you see, you have got download videos, and you can download all the videos I write at one go. So, if you have internet related issues, if you're in the institute, just try to download all of them and then look at them week by week, just as the content is being, progressively disclosed. And then here is your study material. If you click here, it will open up a drive which has all the PDFs at one place. Again, at a good internet connection area, you can download each of them and you can access it at your convenience. All right. Then we were referring to the discussion forum. If you click here, you go here, and you've seen the questions are there, and then whatever questions were there, it has been responded to by the Mr. Dinoj, who has been actively helping us with this things. So, Tushar, to your question, I would rather say that uh, we take the best 8 of 12 assignments. So even if you have missed one, it is not a problem. At least try to submit the at least 8 assignments, or you can still submit 11 assignments on time, right? And the best 8 can be taken care of. So that should not be a problem. So I think that addresses Tushar's concern. All right. Uh, but I think that should be all. If there are anyone who wants to share something and wants to discuss something or anything, any encouraging words, it should be helpful. So good to see learners there responding to the questions. I think it is very critical because unless we have a two-way dialogue, it becomes very challenging to conduct such sessions. And I think there were 2 to 3 learners who were very much engaged with the questions, sharing their perspectives, their opinions about what could be the correct answer. And I think they were right on majority of questions. So that is something which is very, very helpful. Thanks, Rashika. Thanks for your comment. And I would request if you can also submit your feedbacks through the problem solving feedback sessions. That will be really helpful to us. Right. So I think now we can conclude the session. If there are no more questions, I'm again, once again, I apologize. We have to shift the session from Saturday to Sunday because of some unavoidable circumstance. Thank you for accommodating it. And thank you for attending the session today. We still have got around 7 sessions left. Let's meet for the next session. Thank you so much. Bye. Thank you. So what I'll quickly do is I'll just open up the art string at the drive because that is where we have been uploading the data. I'll quickly open up this, and in fact, this we can just extend up to here. We've got the Google Drive. In the drive, we need to upload our presentation. This is week 5. We'll just quickly have a quick look at it. If you're referring to week 5 here, and then you've got all the PDFs. Yes, it's on in here. Yeah, great. So just make the window smaller and we'll upload the week 5 PDF. We'll stop the recording. So thanks a lot, and we'll meet next week. Thank you.